Let's try and find out if these cards can get a PSA 10. What is going on YouTube? nolife.snorlax here, and today I wanted to talk about a little bit of a different topic, that is PSA grading. And I have a bunch of cards prepared here, and I want to look at the conditions of these cards, if they're gradable or not, if they could get a PSA 10 or not. And I just wanted to walk you through the process of how I'm doing it, what I'm looking out for, and what you need to get started. So first of all, what you will need are clear sleeves. Some sleeves to put your cards into. I have KMC Perfect Fits. Then, depending on where you send your cards, you will need card savers. Card Saver 1, you can buy these on eBay and on Amazon, I guess, and a few select sellers. And of course, you will need cards you want to grade, especially like really good condition ones, really valuable ones, or cards you just want to encase because they're really dear to you. What you also want to have is a reference point. Like if you already have a PSA 10 card, you can really easily determine, okay, so the corners of this card are like this, the condition is perfect, I can compare my cards to this. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see if we can find a few potential gem mint 10s. So I'm collecting the tag team cards, especially the normal ones with the Arita artwork, and I want to get all these graded, so we're going to have a look at them. And for the Gardevoir and Sylveon, it's pretty easy to determine if it's good enough because I already have a PSA 10. So let's check the card out. Now the 4 things I will be looking out for is centering, corners, edge wear, and surface damage. Surface damage is one that a lot of people don't pay attention to, but it's really important. You might think, oh, the front of the card is like super pristine, but the back of the card is equally important, so don't miss that. Before we compare the Sylveon to the PSA card, let's compare it to a regular card I have here. Let's see if we can find any differences. Now, the second card down here has edge wear on the side. You can clearly see the white marks when you look from here. And also, this card down here has a little nick. So that already is a sign that even though it looks pretty good from the front, it might not be a PSA 10. Now if we take a closer look here, we can see that the card has surface damage as well. These lines will basically make sure that the card is unplayable. You can even feel it a little bit, that means it's damaged. So this one will not get graded. But now back to the Gardevoir and Sylveon, we can see no whitening on the edges. That is pretty decent. Now for corners, it's going to be hard to show on camera. What I'm a little bit concerned with is on the top left corner, there's a little bit of lighter yellow. And we're going to take a look at the original PSA 10 card and see if that is the same thing. You can see there's a light yellow bar at the very top. And on the bottom card, it's a little bit more prevalent. So from the cutting, the cards are not the same. We can check the bottom as well. So they're definitely not cut the same. I think this card is a little bit more cut towards the bottom, so the bottom has less space than the PSA 10. Now if we look at the back, I think you can see that the top card here has a little bit of a thicker border. The surface seems to be really good because I don't see any marks. The edges seem really good. Let's check the front. The front seems to be pretty decent as well. Don't see any scratches. It's a little bit off cut, so I would guess this would be a PSA 9 to PSA 10, depending on who grades this. Now, I'm going to throw this in a new sleeve, and I'm going to take a top loader, or not a top loader, a card saver, and we're going to put the Gardevoir and Sylveon in the card saver. It's probably a good idea to get a PSA 9 and a PSA 8 to see what they look like as well. The card is in the card saver. This is now ready for shipping. I will personally not ship directly to PSA. I will try out a grading service, which is Graded Gem. I will send them 10 or 15 cards, depending on how many we find here, and we'll see what comes back when the return video is online. So our first card, Gardevoir and Sylveon, we know what we're looking for now, so now let's have a look at some higher class cards. We're going to take a look at the Glass Stained Birds. Now I'm really excited. I haven't looked at the condition of the card after it came in. I just put it in the sleeve, put it in the binder. I was happy I got it. The card is a little bit warped. I'm not sure if that is affecting the grade or not. I would guess not, because it just gets flatted out anyway. Corners and edges look pretty good. Yep, still looking good. Surface, fine. Surface looks pretty good. I don't see any marks. So I think, I mean, I'm an amateur here, you know. I'm looking at, there's probably people who are just face palming at their computer screen saying, that's not a 10, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. But from what I can see, you know, centering is decent. There's no like whitening, there's no scratches on the surface. I think this card could potentially be a 9 to 10 on the PSA scale. There is the glass birds in the card saver. We have 4 cards already, so grading cards, it ramps up really fast. You get 1, you get 2, 3, 4. So let's talk about pricing a little bit, because grading is not cheap. If you want to grade yourself, I think it's at least $20 a card. If you're using a grading service, it can be around $10 to $11. You really have to think about how many cards you send in, what condition the cards should be, and I would recommend, especially for modern cards like these, only send potential 10s. Like if you can see whitening, if you can see a nick, like right here, if you can see a nick like that, do not send the card. If you can see whitening on the card like this, do not send the card. And especially if you have surface damage, do not send the card. He will not be a happy boy after it comes back. Now let's have a look at my Mimikyu. I'm pretty sure this is not a 10. I'm pretty sure it has some edge wear and some, or maybe not actually. What? That looks pretty good. Oh, it does down there. So like this Mimikyu has the tiniest edge wear, and I'm going to show you in a second. And I'm interested to see if that makes it a 9 automatically, or if this could come through as a PSA 10. I'm going to show you what I mean right here. Broke my heart a little bit, because down here, if you can see, down here where my finger is pointing, like there's a tiniest whitening on the edge, and that could make or break the Mimikyu to PSA 9. So I'm interested to see what grade this card will get. I will definitely send it in. I'm not sure if it will be a 10 or not, or maybe an 8, but the fact that the card has an issue down here, like even if it's the tiniest issue, look at that. If that is going to make it or break it, I'm not sure. The only thing that could save the Mimikyu is that PSA grades on aesthetics, which means they look at how the card looks overall instead of like looking at every single flaw like Beckett does. And if they think the card is still aesthetically pleasing, then you could still get a 10 even with a minor whitening issue on the bottom. And I mean, I guess centering still could kill it. It's a little bit skewed to the left, so, and the top, I guess. So this is probably going to be a 9. We'll see about that though. Let me take a look at these. I will come right back and show you the results. Alrighty guys, let's hope we can add some PSA 10s to our collection. Here are the tag teams I want to send in. They're all pretty much in pristine condition. The only issue I can see on 1 or 2 cards is, as you can see there where my finger is, if I can get the lighting right, there's a small factory line. So I'm not sure how that will affect the tag teams, but other than that, this is my first time sending cards to grading, so I have to make some mistakes. I have to get a feel for what is a 10, what is a 9, what is an 8, what is a 7. So from the looks of it, these are pretty nice. So these will go to PSA. Now, this is a limited Japanese promo number 320. This is pretty much, I don't know, I can't find any flaw. It's not miscut, edges are perfect, surface is good. So that will go, probably be a 10, hopefully. My Mimikyu, as I said, there's a little whiting on the back, so I guess this will get a 9, probably. Cross our fingers. Glass birds, let's cross our fingers this will get a 10, because that would be amazing. All my other Scream cards pretty much all have issues. The Psyduck is the worst one, as you can see. Surface damage, surface damage, surface damage. So Psyduck is pretty roughed up, probably just going to get a 7 or an 8, I imagine, but I want to send it in just because I'm sending all my other Scream cards, and I want to have a complete PSA set. Even though this will not get a great grade, I just want to send it in for, you know, the collection purposes. Now for the Rowlet, I think this is the best Scream card I have. It's in pretty much pristine condition. I can't find anything on the back, and centering is decent, a little bit to the left, but I imagine Rowlet will get a 9 or a 10. Eevee and the 2 Pikachus all have surface issues on the back, like very minimal. If you look up here, that's one of the Pikachus. That's the only issue I could find, so this probably is going to be a 9. Same goes with the other one that has a really small issue down here where my thumb is. Same goes for Eevee. I think there is a little bit of whitening on the back, so probably all the Scream cards will be a 9. Sending in the Lily, this has a lot of, right on the left side you can see a factory print line. I'm not sure how that will affect the card, so we'll see about the Lily. This is more of a test card to see how cards like that get graded. And then there's my two Secret Rare Stadium cards, Shrine of Punishment and Viridian Forest. I don't know if this will get a 10 or not, probably not, because they're both pretty miscut, as you can see. Or the right side is much thicker than the left, and same on the Viridian Forest. Very, very miscut, but I pulled these myself. They're super unique. We don't get them in the English releases. I just want to get them graded. And the last card is going to be Jesse and James, also miscut to the left. The left is thicker, and same goes for Pokemon Maniac, but the James hair and Jesse's hair, they both go over the card, so I think aesthetically this could get a 10 still. This one probably wouldn't, so I'm not going to send it in. Hoping my best for Jesse and James here. Probably just going to be a 9 though. This is going to be 21 cards total. I'm going to send them into Graded Gem. That's going to cost me about £200. So hopefully we can get a few 10s back. And, you know, I'm not going to sell any of these cards. I'm not planning to, but it would be nice to know that if you wanted to, you would get your money back. So let's hope we don't get 7s and 8s. I'm interested to know from you what cards you think will get a 10, what cards you would like to grade, and how you go about your grading process. Do you send them directly to PSA? Would you like to use a grading service? If you have any questions about grading itself, I will do my best to answer them in the comments section. We're gonna finish this video off with the Ultra Prism booster pack, and if we pull a Lily here, I have a 22nd card to send to PSA, because regardless of condition, I will grade the Lily, because I will be so happy I will get her. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know if you like this format, if you want to see more PSA stuff, if you want to see more grading, if you want to, you know, see more non-opening videos, me talking about Pokemon cards, values, or whatever you want. Just let me know in the comments below. We got a Cherubi reverse, and a rare is a Bastiodon holographic. Again, this is haunting me. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Leave a comment down below. Like this video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.